Good evening. This is 8 questions. Tonight, I am joined by Wayne of WayneKo Studio, a channel on YouTube.
Hey man, look, I truly appreciate you having me on here, and the questions you're going to ask me are really awesome. And before we get started, let me just tell you how big of a fan I am of your channel, man. I am just a huge fan of your channel and just the way your editing skills, all of that good stuff, on point.
Thank you, Wayne. I really appreciate you saying that. Question number 1. What is the absolute dumbest way you can think of to spend $1 million?
Oh, when I seen this question, let me this question I'm going to answer with something that I think is pretty dumb to begin with, and I think you're going to agree with me. Is going to be the NFTs. I think if you were going to find just the dumbest way that you could spend $1 million, it would be on NFTs.
Unless you can flip them for two.
Well, I mean, there you go. Maybe.
What Funko Pop or series do you regret buying or collecting?
I don't really know that I regret my pops in general. I have a few of them that I wouldn't have bought again. I mean, like my Ronald McDonald line, when they come out with the McDonald's and the chicken nuggets and all of that, I could live without that line. So it's one of them that I could live without. I don't necessarily know that I regret it though.
What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to have a deep, meaningful conversation with? And or a little boom boom in the bedroom?
So I'm gonna answer this question with two different people. So somebody I would like to sit down and just have a serious conversation with would have been Jimi Hendrix. I mean, if I could have picked anyone that I was going to sit down and just have a serious conversation about where its head's at and how he felt about life, it would have been Jimi Hendrix. Now, when it comes to the bedroom, Marilyn Monroe, and I know that these people are much older than me, and it's kind of funny that I grew up with people that were much older, so I kind of reflect back on the what I'm going to call the original Hollywood when it comes to like the role models that I look up to. So Marilyn Monroe would have been the bedroom for sure, but I have a tendency to call my wife my Marilyn.
What is the first thing you ever started collecting?
Little action figures. So I have the original Batman and Robin and their car that I had as a child. So I mean, I started collecting action figures and plastics really early on in life.
What would a Funko Pop of you look like?
This is this is an interesting question, and I think that this question just depends on who you're going to ask. Like if you're going to ask me, they're going to have Adidas on, they're going to have some kind of cool printed shirt, and your hair is going to be white because most of my hair is white. It started going white at the age 22. Just a heads up because everybody's always quick to give me a hard time on that. They're like, oh, it started doing that at 22. I mean, very early in my life, my hair started going white. So I would say that it would look something like that, but I've actually gotten like 3 custom pops from different channels now, and each one of them kind of have their own comical like look to them. So I think that question just depends on who you ask.
So, kind of like the silver fox of Funko collecting.
Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd go there, but maybe.
If someone offered you the full pop price guide value for your entire collection right now, cash money, would you take it?
I'm gonna have to say no. My collection right now is in its infant stage. A lot of you guys and a lot of people in the community have been collecting much longer than me. So I only started collecting Funko Pops probably the early 2019 is when I seriously started collecting Funko Pops, and maybe just a touch before that, but not much before that. I right now I'm sitting around 400 Pops, and I consider that to be in an infant stage. I mean, I think that it's still very like small in comparison. Now, maybe once it hits 1,000 Pops, I'll be right on board. But I think right now I'm gonna have to hold.
Wayne of WayneKo Studio on YouTube, what is the meanest comment you have ever received on one of your videos?
Oh, when it comes to those anymore, I don't really look at them now. When my channel first started off, I felt like those comments hit a little harder than they hit now, and I also think that YouTube has gotten a lot better at filtering those out so that we don't get them. One of I don't know about mean, and I can't really remember what the conversation was about, but I'll tell you the funniest experience that happened with the troll. So it was on Instagram, and I can't even remember what the person started the conversation about, but it was something about get some knowledge before I start speaking or something stupid to that effect. And then normally I would have just passed that by and I wouldn't have said anything, but I must have been having a bad day. And on this day, I decided that I was going to reply. And then this gentleman or whomever decided that they were going to reply, and it got kind of heated. Well, then they reported me for bullying and got me put in Instagram jail for like 2 weeks.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh, so you have a record.
it was one of the few times that I honestly like went back and forth with somebody. And look, I probably said some stuff that I shouldn't have said, and I'm not going to repeat it at this moment, but it had something to do with living in his mom's basement and something to that effect. And I probably took it a couple of steps too far, and it seriously got me put in Instagram jail for a couple of weeks. It was kind of funny, but at the end of it, it was funny.
We will conclude this interview with a question invented by the great Bernard Pivot, chairman of Academy Gunko. Wayne, what is your favorite curse word?
So you're gonna bleep this out, right? I mean, this is one of them you bleep out, right?
Maybe.
It's definitely gonna be fuck. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I love using it in a lot of different ways. Like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean,
It's fucking versatile.
That's right. It's a very versatile word. So that's definitely my favorite one. But I try and not cuss as much as possible. It's sometimes it's just it's lacking class sometimes. So I try not to. But that's definitely got to be my favorite one.
I would like to thank Wayne for being a guest on 8 Questions. Check out his channel, WayneKo Studio, for fun and informative videos about the hobby of Funko Pop collecting.